You know, it's been a while. I figured I'd stream tonight. Wasn't really doing. Well, I've been doing this Zenless Zone Zero story. People follow me on TikTok. I've been posting the clips. The story is so good. So good. I am so locked in to this story. But all I'm doing right now is the PlayStation, brother. I wish I could run music off the PlayStation when I'm playing this. Let me see. I don't even know if you can hear me over the music. Now let me know if you can. Actually, let me try it. Test it out myself. Okay, that sounds not bad actually. Anyway. Let's continue this playthrough of Zenless. Warframe content coming soon, I promise. I promise. More intentional playthroughs and builds. And no you stunting on me. Other time, it's about community building. Unless you're going to play with me yourself and bring your builds, you can keep your builds to yourself. Or share them in the chat for other people. Somebody as proud as him would never agree to such a thing. Not only did he refuse, he also wanted to expose their schemes. And some days later, he suddenly took his own life. The current story for Zenless is wild. Right now, we're investigating remnants of the previous storyline close with the lead investigator of the PubSec, basically the police, trying to murk everybody. So this is the remnants of that. Met a new character, Vivian and Hugo, if you guys are following the ZZZ storyline. If not, I did a trailer on my YouTube page of the summary of what Zenless Zone Zero is more or less about. But yeah, no, just read through the stories. If you do hear my voice sometimes over like the male parts, just me practicing my VO stuff. I don't really necessarily read the female stuff, but I would read that out loud as well. Like, in between summaries. Let me see. I knew him. He would never do something like that. Those big shots silenced him. How do you know all of this? Because that legendary artist was my husband, Mira's father. My condolences. Thank you, but I might not need it anymore. So who exactly are those big shots you're talking about? Given the circumstances, it's fine to tell you. It's the Ravenlock family. The matter I just discussed with Miss Amby is also related to them. The collectible you asked me to bid on earlier, I should probably return it to you. What up, Jay? Don't worry about it. But isn't it your husband's final work? It's fine. Our bond doesn't need to be anchored to any object, and I don't need these works to remember him. It's much better off in your hands than someone like Hartman's. Proxy, may I speak with Miss Sienna alone for a moment? Of course. Vivian and Sienna step aside and discuss something in private. Alright, regarding the matter of finding the ring, I'm entrusting it to you. It's my wedding ring. I would be extremely, extremely grateful to you. Word. Of course, we try to find someone's wedding ring. It's important. Out in the desert. Suspicious item. You find some food left in the hollow for unknown reasons, because somebody doesn't know how to clean up after themselves. Clearly there's no signs of the ring Sienna is looking for among these items. Proxy, if you're hungry, I've brought some food with me. Thanks, I'm not hungry. Okay, you can't eat those even if you're starving.
There's leftover food here. I don't want to imagine what's inside the bag.
What?
Neither do I.
Oh, the voices? The fighting. Right. You find a plush toy. After squeezing it in and kneading it thoroughly, you realize it doesn't have what you're looking for. No one would hide a ring inside the stuffing of a plush toy, right? Don't worry, there's nothing inside. I've already gone through it.
A toy that seems emotionally stable. There shouldn't be a ring hidden in it.
Shouldn't be. You never know. Ooh, a loot box. Money.
It's pretty cute.
Surely it's not a bomb. Surely it's not. Oh, a mysterious box on a bench. You find a lunchbox. After bracing yourself, you crack it open and peek inside. Whether lucky or unlucky, the box is empty. No one would put a ring in a lunchbox. It would spoil the taste. Is that the main concern? No, it's not.
It's a fancy lunchbox?
I wonder if its owner is safe and sound.
Suspicious sign. You find some scattered oil barrels. After careful searching, you find nothing resembling the ring inside. Inside them, excuse me. Does Sienna actually want to find this so-called ring? What do you mean? She said she's looking for the wedding ring, but she also said she doesn't need any objects to remember her husband. You've been searching here for so long and found nothing at all. Maybe the ring never existed in the first place. It was just an excuse. Let's go back. Could be very true. That could have been a ruse. Gotcha.
You seemed worried for a while now.
Ooh, never mind. Was it a trap?
Dot. The location should still be safe.
Seems trappish. Loot box. Money and items. Whoa. By the time you turn, you discover Sienna with her eyes closed peacefully. Oh no.
What happened?
Oh no.
Her final scam. There's one thing I must remind you. Your time is running out.
I'm not sure how you can tell, but you're right. I'm going to die in here. That's my plan. I'm very sick and don't have much longer. If I try to get treatment, it'll just be a burden on my daughter. So I scam my way through a bunch of physical exams and managed to take out a hollow corruption policy through Ravenlock Insurance. Once some time has passed, could you please take my corrupted body out of the hollow? That will secure a generous compensation package for my daughter. It's only what the Ravenlocks owe me. A pity, yes. But it's the only way I can squeeze it out of them.
What makes you think that will help you?
I just trust you will. I'm just awfully sorry you had to get involved in this. But it's something I must do. I have to leave something behind for my girl. I have to give her a chance at life. If it's okay, could you also please pass a message to Mira for me? Tell her, don't worry. Even if Mommy's body is corrupted, withers away, and turns to dust, my love for you will always be there. Thank you. You're a good kid.
She was betting that we'd help her. So, you were aware of this the whole time? Yes. Because I saw it.
Vivian falls silent for a moment, as if she...
You
Whoa.
might not believe me, but I've had this ability to see the future since I was a little girl.
Are you judging the performance? Hold on. Are you judging the performance? So, alright. Here's the thing. I will pause there. I'll pause the stuff there. No, I heard her. I agree. But I think the thing is this. Her character didn't need to be that emotional. She literally accepted her death at this point. And basically, when you get to a point where you accept something, you don't need to be overly emotional. It's kind of like, yeah, I'm about to die. So, I mean, overall, here are the things that you need. And I hope that everything works out. Like, you don't need to be all, yeah, I know I'm about to die. Like, I don't know what you're expecting. From a voice acting standpoint, even you and I are discussing. Like, now, I could agree if she did give, like, more of an emotional delivery, it might have been a little more jarring. But I think, no, like, the performance, I think, for that was your character accepts her death and is basically explaining in an adult way, this is what's about to happen. You don't need to have any type of, like, people that are at a point of acceptance don't even, like, unless somebody triggers them. Like, say if her daughter spoke to her and she didn't have any type of inflection, that'd be different. Vivian's not her daughter. So she's talking to a stranger, literally. Just kind of like, you know, it is what it is. You know. But, I mean, if you want to clip that part and kind of be like, look, she should have been a little more expressive here. Mind you, again, it's not even necessarily the fault of the voice actor. As you know, it could be the fault of the director for the scene. So, whatever was like, yeah, that's good, that's fine. Or, take what you will out of the scene. I mean, yeah, monotone across the board. Yeah, most of these characters are not very expressive. Like, say right now on the screen, the character on the left, Ambi, basically is a monotone character, lost her memory. She's kind of monotone. The character in the middle, we're still just exploring her character introduction. She seemed monotone, but she is exploring her feelings. Character on the right, same thing as the character on the left. Like, trained assassin, not necessarily expressive, here for the mission. Not a whole lot of emotions, speaking forward. If I had played it different, like, other characters are more expressive in the story of chapters I played that I didn't stream because I was like so locked in. I didn't even think about it. Also, depending on my circumstances, I wasn't able to stream, but I'm streaming right now. So, but this is a good point. That's a good breakdown. Orchestra concert for Demon Slayer. Wow, sorry, random news. Random news. Anyway. I think she gave what was asked. I didn't have a problem with it. I was overall shocked about the death all of a sudden, but we're moving on. I'm sorry for that, for you.
That's all I've ever been able to see.
It's all that kid's fault.
She's seriously jinxed.
I always try to avoid her. Otherwise, she'll say something rotten that ends up coming true again.
Prophecies, she says. Like she's not the one bringing the bad luck upon us.
Oh, backstory.
I didn't do anything. Sorry. I'm sorry.
What good is saying you're sorry? Things like this keep happening every time you open your mouth.
How unlucky. She shouldn't be here. Nobody wants her around.
If only she would just disappear.
I just wanted to warn you all. I'm sorry.
After recounting the stories of her past, Vivian stays silent for a long time, as if struggling to break free from the shackles of those dark memories.
Every time it's the same. In the end, there's nothing I can change. Sometimes I even wonder whether it's me predicting these things, or if my very existence is manifesting these calamities.
It's not your fault.
Vivian, it's not your fault.
You were just trying to be kind and warn them about impending disasters.
I can tell it's never been easy for you.
Thank you. No matter what. I just hope she finally gets to rest in peace. I hope no misfortune, whether I foresee it or not, ever happens to anyone.
So, Miss Vivian, do you always cry when you have a prophecy? Dang. So far, half of the girls whisper. Yeah, they have a low speaking tone. I can't help but shed tears. Well, I guess we'll wait till when we get to all the loud characters, because literally, not to oppose your point, all the characters on the screen except for our character are enigmas and or assassins, so I don't expect them to be loud, you know, but very fair point pointing that out. Yeah, because Ambi's story is just being released with the current DLC. We don't know anything about Vivian other than she just gave a little backstory that she has like a past where she predicts her things, and then I don't know anything about Trigger on the right. Although I think I'm told in the video store I can play back some backstory content between the main character and the two characters on the left and the right. So stuff I don't know about. That pop a reference. That pop a reference. Machinations of my mind are an enigma. The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma. What's that from? The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma. What's that from? The character is pink and a star. Dude, I will just Google it in a second. I don't remember. Oh my god. Patrick. Yeah. The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma. Yeah, right. Patrick, did you just get deep? Duh. I just can't do it. No matter how hard I try, I just can't. You're being too hard on yourself. Vivian falls silent for a moment, seemingly unwilling to continue the topic. I wouldn't either. Sienna said that the compensation from the Ravenlock family's hollow corruption insurance is enough to settle her daughter Mira for life. Damn. Well, can you, like, move her body, please, instead of just leaving it there? It's over here. Just on the... Damn. He's just standing here like, oh, damn. I mean, I guess nothing you can do about it. But it's just lying there. They cover it, nothing. We ain't got no blankets. Bumblebee. Though it's hard to imagine notoriously stingy Hartman engaging in such a money-losing business. Anybody's have fingerprints? Just cover it with a sheet. Be Tops is involved. Yeah, I think so too. Actually, there have been rumors that the Ravenlock family has fallen out of favor with Tops for a while now. Tops are basically the upper echelon of the city, rich people. Same concept as most other things. That's why they're becoming so desperate, afraid of being abandoned by the mighty Tops. Sienna is actually a skilled intelligence broker. She retired from the business a while ago. I see. No wonder why she was able to gather classified information. She said she tried many ways, but everything was useless against the untouchable Ravenlock family. She still couldn't avenge her lover. But I believe everything she did was meaningful. The same goes for you, Miss Vivian. Silence. Everyone seems there are ethereals nearby. It's not safe to linger. Let's keep moving forward. The what? Dude. What?
Proxy, do you believe that the future can be changed?
That's quite the sudden question.
Okay, Jay.
In my memory, this has happened countless times.
Focus, Jay. Focus.
I only see these torches. Why can't I even
I like Ambi Zero better than Ambi. Jeez.
Mind the blind side. The fissure that we're looking for is up ahead.
Well, don't know what to tell you then. Who was getting mucked like that? No trigger, no team switch. Come on now. There we go.
Target's weary. Ether vision activate.
Copy. Loyalty.
Ooh.
I think it's about time.
We should take that lady out of the hollow. You guys go on.
Thank you. She gave us the intel we needed, so this is the least we could do. I hope everything else goes well for you.
Trigger and Anne believe.
Master Proxy, is there anything you'd like to know? You can just ask.
Let's wait until you feel comfortable telling me.
I'm curious about your story, Vivian, but we can talk more once you feel ready. Don't worry, I'm very patient.
You're the first person to ever say that to me. I'd be happy to share my story with you. These premonitions I see are not within my control, and they always come to me in a flash, like a flood of images in my mind. Most of the time, I see death, disease, accidents, and disasters. Of course, there are also some non-fatal mutilations. But every time, without exception, they end up happening. And I can never prevent or change them. That's all I have to say about it. If that offends Master Proxy and you don't want to hang out with me anymore, then I can understand.
Why would I be offended?
Why would I be offended? That's just who you are, Vivian. Besides, we're friends.
I've always considered this ability as a curse.
You said dubbing doesn't present enough feelings? Wow. Wow. Yeah.
It's not a curse. Actually, I think you've been given a gift.
Thank you. Really? Well, it's getting late. Bringer's belongings ought to be around here somewhere. Let's take a closer look.
Is there a loot box nearby? Never know. That's a negative. Yep, nope, there's one. Money! Changed the first time I couldn't give it, just talking so fast but not sounding. Yeah, when you realize that you're focusing more on the lines than the performance. It's knowing the lines and then delivering them in your own tone of voice. But, you know, it takes practice. Everybody, I'm pretty sure, people who we consider pros have that kind of stuff, you know. It all takes practice. And I'm not saying that I've mastered it. I definitely haven't. At all. It just takes a long time to practice and get in that mindset. Even reading the news. Found it. The vending machine. Bringer's belongings are probably stashed away in there. Why the vending machine? That's the intelligence I got. Maybe Bringer thought this was a good spot. Dragon Ball weather does bring a good presentation. Wait, where did Dragon Ball come from? Oh, you're just using Dragon Ball as an example? Dragon Ball... The dub for Dragon Ball, saying it on the top of my head, sounds like it has emotions. Dragon Ball was emotional. Dragon Ball, Bulma was expressive, Goku was a little expressive, Krillin was expressive. Or are you saying Dragon Ball, even though the whole universe, like Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, all that kind of stuff, like all of them? Anyway, let's look around first. You search the vending machine up and down, but find nothing. After Cell Saga? Yeah, I mean, understandable. Cell Saga should have been the end, in my opinion, but my podcast mates argued that Boo Saga was the best saga because it offered Super Saiyan 3, Majin Buu, not future, but older Gohan, Majin Buu. What do you mean, Team 4-star, no thanks? What do you mean, no thanks? Watched their version, few moments I didn't like. Well, I mean, Team 4-star ended at the Cell Saga. They didn't continue it until the Boo Saga, but you also stopped at the Cell Saga. So I'm missing something. Yeah. I knew it. There must be other vending machines nearby. This should be the one. Bringer's belongings. What could they be? You search the vending machine in front of you thoroughly. Still nothing.
Strange. There's nothing in here.
Oh, I missed the box. I was like, what's that sound? Another box. Loot. Vending machine. Proxy, I have a feeling Bringer's belongings are definitely inside this vending machine in front of us. I believe you. Alright, let's search it thoroughly. You carefully search the vending machine and still find nothing. Just as you are about to give up, you kick the vending machine by accident. Where a drink would normally roll out, a worn notebook appears instead. Interesting. So she was right. Wow, Master Proxy. So this is how it's done? You're leagues ahead of professional intelligence brokers. Lucky kick. Hugo. Okay. Bringer's notebook. Old and worn looking, seems to have a lot of locations of interest marked down. Alright.
This is it. This notebook is what Bringer left behind. But I don't know what these markings on it mean.
You and Vivian threw Bringer's notebook together, ignoring the surrounding danger for some time until a shriek of an ethereal suddenly rings out. However, a moment later, a strange yet familiar figure materializes to block the ethereal, disposing of it with ease. That would be the man.
Well, hello, Master Proxy. It's been a while. Oh, don't give me that scandalized look. I did just save your lives.
I would have protected the Proxy even if you hadn't appeared.
I'm sure of it, but I happen to be in the area. Worry not, dear companion. I have complete confidence in your strength.
Hang on. Did you say companion? So you two know each other?
Apologies. I didn't have a chance to mention it before. I'm actually part of the Phantom Thieves Syndicate, Mockingbird.
That's right. I was only able to slip in during the auction thanks to some help from Vivian backstage.
Bye, Jay. No. There are other characters that have different color eyes. Get your fandom out of here. Get your fandom out of here. Get your fandom out of here. Yes, I've seen both color eyes. Yes. it can be tied to that as well. Yes, it can. I acknowledge that.
So the whole time you were only bidding on the collections so you could get backstage and tamper with things?
I warned you before. You can't rely on appearances.
Don't worry, Master Proxy. We don't have any ulterior motives here. As you've probably heard, Mockingbird is a renowned phantom thieves syndicate in New Eridu that, despite its longevity, has managed to maintain the secrecy of its members' identities to this day. So, disclosing our identities to you is essentially the highest sign of good faith that a Mockingbird phantom thief can show.
I guess that makes sense.
Your trust is most appreciated. Mockingbird's purpose is very simple, really. To form long-standing and cooperative relationships with outstanding proxies like yourself.
We need your abilities.
Before you make any decisions, please allow me to briefly explain the concept behind the Mockingbird Syndicate. We all know there isn't anything in this world that's fair. A prime example being the uneven distribution of wealth. People from tops splurge on luxurious collectibles, while the poor have to gamble with their own lives just to get by. Of course,
This man's bitten.
besides wealth, there's also an unequal distribution in this world of happiness and suffering, hope and despair, love and hate. It's all just so unfair. Somebody
He is
has to do
dramatic.
Something to tilt the balance of the scales. And thus Mockingbird was born. We take from those who have far more than they deserve and give it to those who deserve to have more. If you ask me, that's enough to be considered a form of justice.
Agree or disagree? Further context, though, is that when he does take from the more to give to the lesser, he is a questionable individual in himself. So it doesn't matter who is the Robin Hood of scenario, taking from the rich and giving to the poor. What you mean, Robin Hood? Robin Hood. Yeah. Okay, thank God. I was like, you've watched Shrek. He's literally in Shrek. like he's Robin Hood is in Shrek. I know you've seen Shrek. like, you know. Yes and no. The concept of Robin Hood, right? The concept of Robin Hood is that he steals from the rich to give to the poor. He's the hero of the people. This gentleman here is toting that he's doing the same, but not fully. Like, you don't see him stealing from the rich and then giving to the people in the street. Like, he's stealing from the rich, and I think he makes himself wealthy, or at least the group that he's with wealthy, by like evenly distributing, basically like taking from the rich so that the rich become equal to the people who are already poor. So it's like and he just got introduced to me this season. I don't know nothing about him. People may have seen him in other stuff that's released for Zenless before I started playing. The game's been out for a year, but it'll be a year in June. But I think it's a question of whether or not I would say, yeah, I agree. I don't know if the main character, whether you say agree or disagree, he'll still be like, but you're still questionable. I do agree that in the concept, I don't mean to apply this to real world. Real world, you can, depending on what it is, talking about like exploitation of people and all that kind of stuff. But for his character, I don't necessarily agree with his methods. So it's like I agree with your concept, but I disagree with your execution. But I could also say I disagree because of how you go about it. So either way, I think I agree with that concept, but I don't agree with him because he tries to justify with the things that he does or things he's done since we've been introduced to him as right. So I say I could agree to just keep him on my good side so he doesn't like cut me down in this hollow or at least make an enemy of him. But if I say I disagree, I'm stating more. I think I would say I initially agree, but I'm us like. But the fact that this is a question makes me wonder what will happen if I say I disagree. I say I agree.
All right, that makes sense. I can agree with that.
Thank you. I knew if anyone, you'd understand. However, aside from these philosophical considerations, we also have a crisis on our hands to deal with. As you know, the Exaltists are plotting to use the power of sacrifice to launch an attack on all of New Eridu. We can provide you with all the latest intel, just like that notebook you found. Something those pompous housekeepers would never be willing to do. And the most crucial part of this whole game, the sacrifice core, is currently in my possession. I think that makes this a highly competitive deal. We share the same goal for the moment, stopping the impending disaster from playing out.
I need some time to think about it.
How about this? If you still have misgivings about our upcoming cooperation, then why don't you bring Lycon along with you? He's got the support of the mayor's office behind him, and his presence alone is enough to keep me in check. That would put you more at ease, right? Of course, you're welcome to bring some other friends along, provided they aren't from public security or HSO.
I mean, PubSec or HSO, generally, my main teams are people that are outside of it. But the most broken people are in PubSec and HSO. But Lycan's also not a part of HSO, and he's pretty OP. So I think I can agree with those terms. You got a deal.
Well, if you're willing to let my friends come along, then you've got a deal.
Great. It's a deal. By the way, Proxy, this is for you.
A collectible given by Vivian looks like an expensive and exquisite piece of art, but it seems hollow inside. Might that mess with its value? Let's get teardrop.
Consider it a souvenir commemorating our first time working together.
For now, we'll carefully look through the contents of that notebook. I'll contact
Right.
you if anything comes up.
After leaving the hollow, Hugo and the others return to the video store. Oh, I get to play as him. Bet. Okay, Stride. Okay, Stride with the one sleeve out. Thief. Hey, Thief. Chic. How tall is he? Oh, wait. So Billy is 6'2". The other character, Hugo, well, we don't know yet. They haven't released all the information on Hugo's physical traits. I could bang with 6'2". Probably 6'2". He is clean. Look at him. Okay, suave. Anyway. Should we ask Master Proxy to recommend some films? Apologies, everyone, but I need to take my leave and go take care of my art gallery now. So you actually own a gallery? I also need a convenient social identity for various reasons. The title of gallery owner works quite well. Alright, I'll stay with Master Proxy for a bit longer. But Hugo, you've been oddly busy today. You're not hiding something from me, are you? Well, shortly before. Casey. Well, if it isn't our dear collector, Mr. Hugo. Long time no see. I assume you finished the task I asked you to do, yes? Done as promised. I've already found buyers for the goods you gave me. No shortage of big names among them. Of course, I've also recommended your gallery to them as instructed, and spread the word about it in the circle. But getting rid of all of this exquisite stuff so suddenly, you're not in trouble, are you? If you have funding issues, I'm also your guy. I've got friends who offer loan services. Thank you for your concern, but be right back. Okay, but my cash flow is very healthy, and I have more than just you as my middleman. In essence, I'm just looking to boost my gallery's reputation in the scene. I see. Those are rare pieces in your collection. Definitely caught a few eyes. I'm sure they're all looking forward to collaborating with you. Thank you for the kind words. Alright, it's getting late. I should head off now. See you next time. Now, time to find that guy. I remember him mentioning that he would dress up in something more presentable this time. And we go to the subway. Metro station. Let's meet at Lumina Square. Let's see, he said more presentable. Is it this guy? Or is it find the well-dressed informant? I'm just curious which one of these will necessarily be right off the bat. I want to say the guy in the alley, but that's too inconspicuous. Serious man is too obvious, and kid playing his phone, most likely. When the musician's third string breaks, the gatekeeper whispers to me, in which hand hides the coin for the underworld ferryman? Are you still LARPing at your age? I thought only people my age would like it. Sorry, my mistake. I was wrong. Watch this guy not be right. The left hand holds death, the right hand holds deception, but the raven has already flown away with the answer. So it was the serious guy, it was the obvious answer. It's quite poetic, isn't it? The meeting with Hartman has been scheduled. He'll be waiting for you in that same private suite. Or should I say, waiting for Hugo, the renowned collector and gallery owner. Thanks. I knew I could count on you. I still have to ask, you're not looking to make the Ravenlocks your enemy, are you? And if I say I am, not like I can stop you anyway. You've already caused a scene at the auction. That robe of heroes stunt. I can't believe you came up with that. Hartman's been on the move lately. That organ trafficking case from before is linked to him too. I also heard that they're dropping big money on some kind of drug research. The Ravenlocks have always been a bunch of cold-blooded bastards. Doing all kinds of messed up things and make your blood boil. Doing all kinds of messed up things that make your blood boil, and swept everything under the rug with money and power, leaving the victims with no justice. But Hartman, he's the worst of the bunch. Rumor says that he personally took out the previous heir and clawed his way to the throne. Sheesh. I know. Relax. I don't plan on clashing with him head on. You better not. I don't want to witness Mockingbird's folly of trying to crack a stone with an egg. I prefer to see it as more of a gambit. I can never win an argument against you anyway. Don't forget, the Ravenlock family's in bed with those exaltist lunatics. Who knows what awful scheme they've been cooking up lately. In any case, as your old friend, I sincerely wish you all the best. Thank you. And by the way, why are you going to ask about him? How is Lycon doing lately? I haven't seen him in a while. What? I know you two split up, but it's been years. Are you still not over it? Hey, yo. Grown man said, listen. I thought y'all was homies. What's up with that? Don't know? Don't care. Petty. If there's nothing else, I'll get going now. Alright, fine. Good luck. Students nearby seem to be having an intense discussion, and you hear a familiar name. So that Mockingbird Phantom Thieves Syndicate only looks flashy, but hasn't actually accomplished anything, right? Tops remain unshakable, and those big families are just a step away from getting total control. It's possible that even the mayor can't keep them in check. But doesn't the mere existence of the Mockingbird serve as some kind of warning? Every time they release a crime warning letter, fear erupts among these evildoers. Oh, really? But what can they actually change? In the end, it's probably just a game. To the big shots, Mockingbird is like a fly. Annoying, but not deadly. So they just let it be. So what do you think should happen? If you ask me, they have to dismantle everything from within if you truly want change. Without power or influence, it's all futile. The first step should be accumulating resources by any means necessary, and if possible, joining Tops. After all, to establish a new order, the old one must be demolished, just like how creation requires destruction. That sounds exactly like something a villain would say. If it's really possible to join Tops, many would probably defect immediately. True. Who would turn down money? Who would turn down money? Somebody whose goal is not tied to money. It's almost time for the meeting with Hartman. Time to go. staff. Esteemed guest, would you like to enter the private suite now? Not right now. Let me see. Is there anything nearby? Is it raining? Oop. The music is so smooth. Eve? Now's not the time for this. But then why would you allow me to walk around? I don't know. I'd be like, no. What do I pause and see what happens? Oh, I thought it would give me a Hugo wallpaper. Yeah, let's go. Arrogant man. You the one who has business with Master Hartman? Correct. Master Hartman's time is extremely valuable, and he has graced you with his meeting amid his busy schedule. I sincerely hope you bring something substantial to the family. Worry not. I stand here precisely because I have enough leverage. You had better.
How about it? Will you work with me?
Not bad. Let me be honest with you. I have the sacrifice core that you're after. I am Mockingbird.
So it's you. I never thought you'd be so bold as to come see me alone.
Relax, my friend. As you know, if I can sneak into such a heavily guarded auction, then naturally, I can just as easily slip away right now. I'm here with the sincere intention to seek cooperation. I can give you that sacrifice core.
And what do you want in return?
Wealth, glory, power. The things everyone else in the world wants, I want them too. And I'm confident that as the current heir to the Ravenlock family, those are all things you can give me.
Then you've certainly come to the right place. My family is working on a big project. If things come to fruition, Ravenlock's status in Tops will significantly improve. At which point, I'll be sure to leave a spot for you. Naturally, as an outsider, you're precluded from handling any of our core business. But profits from the scraps alone will be enough to set you up for life.
Mr. Hartman, I think you've misunderstood me. I have no intention of joining the Ravenlock family. In fact, I have an art gallery under my name that does pretty well for itself. I was hoping you could recommend me for Tops.
You want to join Tops? That's easier said than done. Even for a family like ours, it would still require significant effort and...
Just answer me yes or no. I don't think either of us can afford to waste time.
I understand. Yes, you have my word. But in exchange, you'll have to give me the sacrifice core first.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I can't. I've already hidden it somewhere safe, a place nobody else but me knows. You don't want to put all your chips on the table when dealing with Tops. I know that far too well.
Then that means I also need to keep an eye out when working with the infamous Mockingbird, right?
Mr. Hartman, I should remind you that I stand before you undisguised. Coming from a phantom thief who's never publicly revealed his identity, shouldn't that be sufficient assurance? If I betray you, then you merely need to lift a finger to wipe me from the face of this world.
You do make a valid point there. In that case, you have a deal.
I appreciate your trust.
Why don't we celebrate our new partnership with a toast?
Hartman calls the waiter over and pours out 2 glasses of some expensive-looking deep crimson liquid. He lifts the glass and nods to Hugo before draining it in one gulp. Hugo flashes a smug grin as he follows suit and takes a gulp.
Having a drink before undertaking anything important is a family tradition. It's good luck.
As an outsider, it's a real honor.
By the way, you aren't the only member of your organization, are you? Shouldn't all your companions agree to this deal first?
You don't have to worry about that. I'll make sure she agrees. Otherwise, I'll get rid of her too.
Seems you'll do whatever it takes to get things done. Great things lie ahead for someone like you. All right, let's leave it at that for today. I'll contact you about what to do next.
That's him! He's the one who killed Serena! She was the only one who was ever any good to him, right? That's how he repays her?
That's why they say once a mongrel, always a mongrel. Just look into his eyes.
Father! We have to punish him! Serena had been ranking ahead of him. Hugo must have poisoned her water so he could pass her.
Pure evil. Typical for an impure bloodline. He should have been kicked out ages ago.
Hugo, did you do all this?
Yes, it was me. I killed her.
He admitted it! Father, he must be expelled. He has no right to live under the same roof as us.
Why don't we reunite him with Serena then? Nobody would ever know.
Hugo, well done. My children, how many times have I told you before? In this world, only the most ruthless, cruel, and unscrupulous of people ever make it to the top. Like Hugo here, who is willing to murder his only true loved one without a second thought. Only someone with the means and the gumption to do that is qualified to be mine.
But I...
It's all over now, and the results are obvious. The winner of this month's assessment is Hugo. As for the rest of you, go to the usual place for the punishment you deserve.
But Father! Before this, I was number 1.
As I've told you before, there's only room for one winner in this family. You're still a loser, even if it's by the smallest margin. And there's no reason for a loser to exist. This is all for your own good. Do you understand? Go on now. Receive your punishment for the sake of the family.
Yes,
some unpleasant memories? It won't be long. Soon, it'll all be over.
Thanks, Jay. By the way, are you free now? If you're not busy, would you mind taking a walk outside with me? Anywhere's fine. I actually like that delivery and I was muted. You arrived at Lumina Square. In the city.
Thank you for escorting me here, Proxy. Today was quite eventful. If I were to head back, you're a child that only brings misfortune.
See, I walk slow because then the line's cut off if you get too far.
About me for a long time. I used to feel hurt and resentful. But now that I think about it, it's perfectly normal for people to react that way.
So Hugo is ethical, if that's the right term. Someone who doesn't use common phrase. Yeah, but he's also driven by emotion. So his ethics are questionable by his motivations. Ethical would be to do the right thing regardless of what scenario you came from. So he's being methodical and ethical based on his upbringing, which wasn't healthy, to say the least. Feel for the guy. Dad was wildin'.
Why do I only predict suffering? If I could predict happy things, joyful things, would people like me a little more? Maybe fate truly is set in stone. Often, I want to help these people avoid their miserable fates. For a time, I even thought that I was successful, that I could change people's destiny. But it was all an illusion. In the end, I couldn't do anything at all. So, I was really happy when you said that my abilities weren't a curse, but a gift. Thank you, Proxy. I'm so glad to have met you. And you're also a fan of Lord Phaethon. It's like we were fated to meet. I don't know why, but I feel completely at ease when I'm by your side. I feel like I'm free from judgment, from blame.
Okay.
Like, I don't need to worry about anything, and can just be my own true self.
That's a good feeling to give people.
Perhaps people really do possess an aura, and ours just so happen to be extremely compatible.
Yeah.
By the way, you asked me before about Hugo. I don't really know much about him. He rarely ever talks about his past. But judging from his eye colors, you can guess he's probably the bastard son of a renowned family. I think his mother was very worried about his different colored eyes, and even wanted to get rid of him at one point. But then his family offered a huge price and bought him off his mother for some reason. And just like that, he moved from a leaky and drafty boarding room to a luxurious mansion. But he's also mentioned that the extravagant home is actually like hell for him. I think it's probably because the family treats him terribly. I digress. He ran away and ended up meeting Lycon and his master. After that, they formed Mockingbird together and experienced a rare period of happiness. Until Lycon's betrayal.
What's your take on Hugo?
So, what's your take on Hugo?
I imagine I would still be wandering around now if I had never met him. To me, Hugo is just like an older brother. I've always felt as though he's carrying some heavy burden with him. But that's a secret he's kept to himself. Something he'll never tell me. Sometimes when I look into his eyes, I can feel that he's really struggling with something. Even though he may say some extreme things, Hugo really isn't a bad person. I think one day he'll tell me his secret. Until then, I just have to wait. Wait and trust him.
After chatting for a while, you say goodnight to Vivian. It's getting late, time to head back to the video store and get some proper shut-eye. Rest. Sleep.